Hello, curious minds. Welcome to EverCurious, where we dive into the weird, the wonderful, and the wondrously mysterious. I'm your host, Iska, and today we're going on a journey into the past, a past where technology seems to defy our expectations. Yes, we're talking about ancient technology that shouldn't exist. Grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's rewind thousands of years because what we think we know about ancient people may need a serious update. Let's frame this. When I say technology that shouldn't exist, I mean tools, machines, or artifacts from the ancient world that appear far more advanced than what conventional history usually gives them credit for. They challenge our assumptions. How did they do that? What materials, what know-how, what tools were they working with? Now, a quick caveat. Not every mystery means aliens or lost super civilizations, though that does make for a fun thought experiment. Often, what we're seeing is incredible craftsmanship, ingenuity, and sometimes, simply things we don't yet fully understand. This channel is about curiosity, not wild claims without evidence. So we'll look at credible examples, stay grounded, and still be amazed. First up on our journey is the Antikythera mechanism. Found in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera, this device dates from roughly the 2nd century BC. What makes it so extraordinary? Well, it's often described as the world's first analog computer. It's a complex assembly of gears, dials, and precision mechanics designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. The level of craftsmanship suggests there were predecessors we haven't found, implying ancient engineers were far more advanced than we normally assume. Imagine this. Over 2,000 years ago, someone built a device that models the heavens. Not just crudely, but with mechanical sophistication. If that doesn't make you pause and say, wait, how? Then I don't know what will. Picture divers exploring a wreck back in 1901, pulling up these strange, corroded fragments of bronze gears from the seafloor. They must have wondered, what on earth did this do? Over time, researchers used advanced CT scans and digital reconstructions to piece the puzzle together. And they realized this thing predicted eclipses and modeled lunar and solar cycles with astonishing accuracy. Suddenly, the past just got a whole lot cooler. The Antikythera mechanism forces us to ask, what engineering and astronomical knowledge existed back then that we barely know about today? It's a mechanical cosmos in a box, created centuries before the scientific revolution. Next, let's travel to modern-day Iraq and look at the Baghdad Battery. This artifact is a small ceramic jar containing a copper tube and an iron rod all sealed with bitumen. It dates back to the Parthian or Sasanian era, sometime between 250 BC and 640 AD. Some have proposed that it functioned as a galvanic cell, essentially an ancient battery. Now, it's important to note that mainstream archaeology is skeptical of theories like it being used for electroplating. But the artifact itself still raises some big questions. Why does it matter? Well, if it was a battery, it would hint that ancient people understood far more about electricity than we give them credit for. Even if the battery interpretation is wrong, the fact that we have this curious object, an iron rod, a copper tube, a bitumen seal tucked away in an ancient context makes us rethink things. How many normal items of the past weren't so normal after all? Imagine an ancient workshop. A craftsman places a copper tube inside a jar, inserts an iron rod, and fills it with an acidic substance like vinegar or grape juice. Was it used for electroplating small items? For some kind of medicinal device? Or was it just a unique way to store scrolls? We don't know for sure. But we do know that the object is completely unexpected, and that alone is fascinating. The mystery of the Baghdad Battery shows that, even when we don't fully know what something did, the mere existence of a technology whose context suggests more than meets the eye is a powerful invitation to be curious. And it doesn't stop there. Let's broaden out a little, because there are plenty of other examples where ancient craftsmanship or engineering surpasses any easy explanation. Take the non-rusting iron pillar of Delhi in India. This is a massive iron monument that has resisted corrosion for over 1,600 years, despite being exposed to the elements. Modern metallurgists are still impressed by its composition and durability. Then there's the precision stonework at sites like Pumapunku and Tiwanaku in South America. Here, huge stones are fitted together so tightly you can't even fit a knife blade between them. It's a level of masonry that is incredibly difficult to achieve, even with modern tools. Now, some of these sites lean into fringe theories, so it's always good to approach them with a healthy dose of balanced skepticism. But the craftsmanship is undeniable. These examples even tie into fascinating thought experiments like the Silurian hypothesis, which asks how we might detect evidence of a prior advanced civilization on Earth. It underscores just how little we might know about what came before us. Picture yourself standing next to a massive granite block, carved and polished centuries ago, fitted into place with such precision that modern tools would struggle to replicate it. Or imagine a pillar of pure iron, exposed to rain, wind, and pollution for more than a millennium, and it's still not rusted away. These are not just curiosities, they are prompts. They make us ask, what else did they know? What other knowledge has been lost to time? It's clear that technological progress in the ancient world wasn't always a straight line. Today, advanced means more knowledge and more powerful tools. But in many cases, ancient people possessed knowledge that looks surprisingly sophisticated, even by our modern standards. So why does any of this matter? Why talk about these ancient technologies? First, they remind us not to underestimate our ancestors. They weren't just simple people living simple lives. They were innovators, engineers, and astronomers. Second, they encourage a sense of humility about what we think we know. History is not a closed book. And finally, they spark curiosity. And curiosity leads to exploration, which often leads to discovery, even if it isn't always something sensational. Let us be clear. This isn't about mystical aliens or rewriting all of history overnight, unless you enjoy that kind of story. It's about acknowledging mystery, embracing it, and seeing the past as a living, breathing entity full of questions, not just answers. On EverCurious, we're not just watchers of the past. We're participants in pondering it. The next time you walk past an ancient ruin, see a piece of intricate stonework, or look at an artifact in a museum, imagine the hands that made it and the minds that designed it. Ask yourself, what did they know that I don't? I'll leave you with this thought. If you ever feel confident that we already know everything, just look at the Antikythera mechanism again. Let it humble you. Let it inspire you. Thanks so much for joining me today on EverCurious. If you enjoyed diving into ancient technology that shouldn't exist, or at least we didn't expect it to, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and click the bell so you don't miss our next curious adventure. Got a weird ancient technology you want me to cover? Comment below and I'll pick one for a future episode. Stay curious, stay open-minded, and I'll see you next time.